Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Saturday, February 6th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Saturday so far. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $1,400 direct payments, the latest on unemployment, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly, liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so in an interview on CBS, President Joe Biden seemed skeptical about the ability of the provision that would increase the federal minimum wage up to $15 per hour to stay in the bill. Biden said, "I don't think it's going to survive. My guess is it will not be in it." And this is because, of course, there is something called the Byrd Rule, which makes it so certain provisions not related to the federal budget aren't allowed in these reconciliation bills. Additionally, even if they were, considering Joe Manchin is opposed to the increase, they wouldn't be able to get enough votes. So, as we expected early on, we won't be seeing a jump in the federal minimum wage just yet. If you are still hoping for a jump in the federal minimum wage, a bill was recently reintroduced which would raise it over time up to $15 per hour by the year 2025. After 2025, it would continue to increase over time as it would be tied to the median wage. However, in order for this bill to pass, they would need at least 60 votes, which means they'd need to get at least 10 Republicans on board with the plan. At this point, that's fairly unlikely. Okay, so as far as updates on the overall relief package go, yesterday the Senate and the House approved the budget resolution, which means they can now move on to the next step. This step, beginning next week, will be where the House committees begin marking up sections of the reconciliation package. After they do this, it'll be sent off to the budget committee. At that point, the budget panel will assemble the final version of the package, vote on it, and then send it off to the Rules Committee. Now, the entire purpose of the Rules Committee is to prepare bills for the floor of the House. Finally, after the Rules Committee prepares the bill for the floor, the House will vote on the bill, where it is expected to pass with flying colors. Being that Democrats have a hefty majority in the House, they should have no issues passing it there. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi already mentioned that she hopes it will pass in the House within the next couple of weeks, so by her time frame, that would be by February 20th. Other lawmakers say, more than likely, it'll end up getting passed in the last week of February, so that could be anywhere between the 22nd and 28th of this month. After it passes in the House, as usual, it'll move on to the Senate, where it will only need 50 votes plus a tie-breaking vote from Vice President Kamala Harris. This is because the bill is being passed under reconciliation, which allows for a bill to pass with only a simple majority rather than needing the 60 votes it usually needs. In the Senate, there's also a very high chance of the bill passing, considering the only obstacle they need to get over is Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin, of course, is the lone Democrat who has shown some opposition to the overall package, and those concerns have been over the minimum wage increase to $15 per hour, in addition to targeting the next round of direct payments. Since it looks like the measure to increase the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour is going to be removed, and they're going to end up targeting these next round of relief payments, Manchin should be getting on board with this plan as well. Now, once the bill does reach the Senate, there are some procedures that must take place before they're able to take it to a vote, but it shouldn't take too long before they're able to pass it. Being that the unemployment benefits do expire on March 14th, their goal is to pass it by the 7th of March, which is 1 week before the benefits are set to expire. Their hope is, if they pass the bill 1 week before the unemployment benefits expire, people won't see a lapse in their benefits. This is because whenever they pass a bill, states will need a little bit of time to update everything in their system to ensure that people receive the increased payments of $400 rather than the $300 that they're currently receiving. Speaking of unemployment, there is both some good news and some bad news. The good news is that in January, we did add 49,000 new jobs and lowered our unemployment rate down to 6.3%. This is the first decrease in unemployment in 2 months, as it was previously stuck at 6.7%. So you might be thinking, well, that's a good thing, and it definitely is. However, one thing that we must keep in mind, which is pretty concerning, is that around 400,000 people left the labor force in January, which basically means not only did they not find work, but they stopped even looking for a job. These people have been unemployed and looking for work for such a long period of time that they just simply gave up, figuring that it would never happen. Basically, unemployment experts say the unemployment rate declined because the labor force got smaller. This is not a good sign. At this point, 4 million people have been unemployed for more than 6 months, which is 40% of all unemployed workers and 4 times the number before the pandemic started. However, eventually, this is going to change. Eventually, we're going to be able to fully open this economy once again, which should help the leisure and hospitality sectors. In January alone, we saw 61,000 jobs lost in the leisure and hospitality industry. As you can probably imagine, this really hurt states such as Hawaii and Nevada, who had the worst unemployment rates in the entire United States. At the top of the list, for December at least, sit Nebraska and South Dakota, who currently have a 3% unemployment rate. These are 2 states that benefit from a fully open economy, who never really saw too strict shutdowns to begin with. So, as the months progress, we can only hope that states such as California, Nevada, and Hawaii can slowly open their economies back up and see a decrease in their unemployment numbers. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can. But for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from John. John says, I'm on disability now. If they target the next round of checks, that means I won't get the next one. I'm out of luck, right? Okay, thank you so much for your question, John. And in your case, being on disability, you should be eligible for the third relief payment. More than likely, they're going to end up targeting the third round of payments based on income. The income requirements, more than likely, if they lower them, will be $50,000 for single individuals, $75,000 for head of households, and $100,000 for married couples. So, not to worry, I definitely expect for you to be eligible for the next round of checks. Okay, moving along to the next comment of today's video, which is from John. John says, is the income level based on 2020 tax returns? Okay, thank you so much for your question, John, and normally it would be based on your 2019 tax returns. However, if you earned too much income in 2019, but you saw a loss in income in 2020, then you can always claim the money as a credit on the tax returns that you file this year. So, for example, if you earned $500,000 in 2019, which would have made you ineligible to receive the payment, but because of the pandemic or for other reasons, you only made $25,000 in 2020, then you would be eligible once again. Because of your drop in income, making you eligible to receive the payment, you can then claim the amount of money that you should have received on the tax returns that you filed this year. Alright, moving along to the next comment of today's video, which is from Debbie. Debbie says, the unemployment programs that are due to end in the middle of March, such as PUA and PEUC, will they be extending them in the new package? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and yes, if Biden's proposed relief package ends up passing, those 2 programs will end up getting extended as well. Currently, he would have them extended for another 6.5 months through the end of September, but of course, since the bill hasn't been written or passed yet, nothing is set in stone. With that said, I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated one way or another. Okay, moving along to the next comment of this video, which is from Rosie. Rosie says, good morning, Josh. Thanks for all the updates, free info, and giveaways. Josh, do you know if adult dependents are included in this new stimulus package? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Rose. And yes, more than likely, adult dependents will be eligible for the third relief payment. At the moment, if they decide to go with Joe Biden's plan, dependents over the age of 17 will be eligible to receive $2,000. This would be the combined amount from the second direct payment of $600 in addition to the upcoming one of $1,400. With that said, since they haven't officially written or passed the bill yet, all this is subject to change, but I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free socks from Webull with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free stock from Robinhood just for signing up and linking your bank account. Please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Nike, for $20, which will be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.